Welcome back to another episode of Toys I've Had and Baby Einstein and its ripoffs. Today, we will be doing the series of ripoffs. Series that have more than two videos in them. And we shall start with Brainy Baby. If you see a toy from Baby Einstein, I will not I will not do it because I already looked at it in the past video. So far, nothing new here, with the exception of this. If you're wondering what it was recalled, what the puncture and laceration hazards were, it was the stop and go portions that could be taken out and used to hurt kids, and at least one of them suffered a bit of a choking hazard. Aside from that, let's move on. I already told you about that. Now, these I have seen at preschool and many other stores. I've seen this at a store as well. My cousin once had this. Or one of my many cousins. That's not the rainbow Hoberman sphere I'm referring to. We're gonna move on now. Hmm. Alright, let's move on to the Left Brain series now. Huh. Not a whole lot else I can say. Well, except for that. That's the exact version that my cousins had. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it in a photo. The giant pound and roll. My grandparents had the parents magazine version, and in time the mallet broke from us banging it too hard, but it still worked good nonetheless. This I saw at my library once. It's not there anymore, unfortunately. This my paternal grandparents had. And in case you're wondering about the rubber piggy bank situation, that was my maternal grandparents that I thought had it. Anyways, moving on, shapes and colors. My sister still has this in her room, and I do not think she has solved it yet. And I do not think she ever will. Henry, I used to own. Yeah, I already told you about the doodle top. Nothing new here, I guess. Alright, one, two, threes. This circus train my paternal grandparents had, as well as the Gunderson Lutheran, where I had some therapy sessions. Music. This is the tambourine in the Band in the Box version. Boomwhackers. My college actually has a Boomwhackers Association club. I know, it's weird. Yeah, my music teacher had this in elementary school. Yes, I do remember one of my uncles having this. And I and this is also part of the Band in the Box, by the way. The Clacker. Laugh and learn. I already told you about the disguise glasses. So, yeah, what yeah. Let's keep looking. Yes, my OT teacher most definitely had this. I remember seeing it a couple of times and playing with it during some of our sessions. OT stands for occupational therapy, by the way. Yes, my neighbors also used to have this. In fact, so did my cousins and myself at one point. Excuse me, I just had to burp. Yes, my cousins did have this. I've seen it in a couple pictures. Not a whole lot I could say here. Yes. If you want to know more about the Little Lionel learning system, go check out a PDF copy of the 2000 Lionel catalog, or somewhere around that era. There was indeed a smaller version of this than my grandparents had. I think they got rid of it the year after I was born. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot else. Baby Prodigy is next. I already told you about the frog, and the monkey, and the bear. The Lucky Ducks game. Now, this is an unusual one. I used to have this as a kid, and I'm sure a lot of people did as well. You can still find it in stores, although I did find a Sesame Street version with Ernie and his rubber duckies. Yeah, I remember seeing this at a someplace. I don't exactly know where. By the way, if you guys want to know more about the gemmy stuff that people have, feel free to get rid of of the the comments I wrote that it that of the songs about the songs that they play. If someone has a gemmy item, you could get rid of the comment I wrote about the song it plays. Yes, I do remember seeing this at my library more than once. What else can we find? What else can we find? All right, what's next here? Hmm. Yes, I do remember my special ed teacher having a button operated version of this. Normally, the ears go up once and the nose flashes, but my special ed teachers had broken ears. They didn't move up and down. It just moved, and the nose moved as well. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, good luck trying to find any Pier 1 Imports products now that they've gone out of business. Here are the super stacking tops. They are quite common. I was only to stack them at least 3 or 4 times completely before they would normally fall over. Yeah, I feel bad for him because this thing needs a remote. We're gonna move on now. Remember seeing this at a friend's house. We used to go over there all the time for New Year's Eve. self promotion. Sickening. Not really a whole lot else I can say. I can tell you that right off the bat. So let's move on to classical kids. Sorry, I just sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, there are many different versions of the Little People school bus. This is the version that was used in the home video Barney's Adventure Bus. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. My maternal grandparents had it. They mostly just made sounds whenever you pressed the buttons on them. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot else I can say about the Mozart version. So let's move on to Bach. What will we find? I do not know. Yeah, good luck trying to find that train set anywhere. Good luck trying to find this train set anywhere. I had another therapist at Franciscan Skimp that had this. It was the non-exact version. I had the exact version. So there. You can still find the non-exact version anywhere you please online. Alright, now the big loader is a little bit more complicated. There's the big loader and the big loader. Tomy just decided to combine the two sets for some reason. And well, it was a good thing they did, because that's the version I used to have, the big loader. I also had the Thomas version growing up, and apparently Tomy decided to combine the Thomas versions as well. But good luck trying to find the Thomas versions combined. Yes, my younger brother did have two, but one was yellow. Moving on to Beethoven. Not a whole lot I can say, except they're right on the money about Ernie's wind-up train. I had my paternal grandparents had the version with Big Bird, Bert, and Cookie Monster. As a matter of fact, I think that's what my dad grew up with. All right, the Bubba series. What will we find? I do not know. Why do I get the feeling that that's the same version used from Language Nursery, except it's in black screen? I think I remember seeing a few of these with my cousins. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they had the ladybug or the rooster. This I had. It was part of a playmat I had. And this was part of a playmat that my cousins had. Hmm. Yes, in case you're wondering, there are add-on cars to the Sing and Go Choo Choo. One has a lion, the other has a zebra, the other has a baby elephant and baby giraffe. And I saw the train a couple of times at Goodwill as well. I do remember I do remember owning this as a kid. Of course, it was not that version. The uh, the new crappy version of Little People sucks. Um, My baby can talk. I don't really have a whole lot of words for this. Hmm. This I remember owning. I already told you about that, so don't worry. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, there's no. Oh, yes, this. I do remember seeing this at my library when I was about 3 or 4 years old. It was a fun puzzle. Not a whole lot I can say about exploring signs. Maybe, just maybe, there is something else lurking. Yes, my older brother did have one of these. It's the one on the right that he had when he was a baby. I know because I've seen photos of it with him, and I also played with it a couple times, and so did my younger sister and younger brother before we sold it. All right, baby superstar. Not really a whole lot I can say here. Yeah, there's really nothing. Explorer? Not a whole lot I can say. I think I remember my neighbors having one of something along the lines of these. I just don't know which version it was. Hmm. Forest Ranger. There's not really a whole lot I can say here. Except for this. My special ed teacher did have this. It was broken beyond repair. When you turned it on, nothing happened. The motor just ran. Baby road trip. Let's begin. There's not a whole lot I can say about this. Jungle. This I remember owning. It was a fun time. Apparently, it played some sort of song. It stopped eventually after the batteries ran out, but it was still a it was still a good it was still a good toy to play with nonetheless. Hmm. The circus is now in town. You can find this Ferris wheel at the Twin City Model Railroad Museum in St. Paul as part of a layout. Yes, my older brother did used to have this. Now, and in case you're wondering, the Ferris wheel does not move when it's being pulled. You have to move it yourself. It doesn't rotate, I should say. Yeah, rotate is the word. All right, to the city we go. Yeah, I think my aunt somewhat had a few of these. I just don't remember which ones they were. Yes, I've seen photos of this at my paternal grandparents' cabin. It was orange. There's not really a whole lot much else I can say. I already told you about this. Why McDonald's would make a Happy Meal out of this, I have no idea. You can find this dolphin as well, a gray version, in the new Baby Mozart video. Alright. Alright. Mundo. Yeah, there's really nothing to see here. Except they may sell some of these marionettes at I've seen a few videos of people finding them at Epcot World Showcase at Disney World. I just don't know where in World Showcase. This my younger brother used to have. In fact, he got it for a Christmas present when he was about a year old. Oh, yeah, something else I should point out. The art teachers of Mike and Sage also had these. Their art teachers, not the persons themselves, not Mike and Sage themselves. Just thought I'd throw that out there. This I used to have. He's Brooklyn T. Guy, the firefighter. Alright, baby brightest. Hmm. I do remember my kindergarten teacher having a different version of this, except it wasn't the zigzag. It was both paddle wheels. They were both wheels, so yeah, it was a twin wheel. Next. Hmm. Why does that remind me of the Disney version? I already told you about the kinetic. Ah, yeah, Charlie Chimp. That thing will give you nightmares if you watch Toy Story 3. Yes. Now, this species of fish is sometimes called the dolphin. And my uncle told me he once saw this when he was fishing somewhere. I don't exactly know where, though. Vio Vio? Vio Vio? Okay, I'll stop. Yeah, my maternal grandparents used to have this. Yeah, and I also used to have this as well. I remember having something along the lines of this. I think it was either the cat or the pig. I just don't recall. This I remember having as a baby. There is a more modern version of this out there, but good luck trying to find this version. I do remember owning this, and it was a fun time. My aunt had this, as you probably already know. I had this to add on to the Surprise Sounds Fun Park. I got this for my third birthday, actually. My special ed teacher had this, but it was broken. Sad but true. The Baby Babble series. Yes, I do remember seeing this and playing with it at my old dentist's office. And I do remember seeing this at my maternal grandparents' house. Now, when I say older brother's preschool, that doesn't mean I was in the classroom at the time. I saw a picture of it. I saw a picture of it in his classroom. Yes. I saw a picture of his classroom, and this was one of the toys that was in it. So there. Yes, this I remember having, and unfortunately, yes, it did break, and our parents had to throw it away. Yes, I do remember owning this. Yes, my therapist did have the one. It also had, yes, the one that my therapist at Franciscan Skimp. Yes, I'm saying that right. Yeah, she also, this version of Potato Head also had the parts from the that were originally used in the Toy Story series. The orange nose, the pink ears, and everything. The retro version just has a rad cap and glasses and whatnot. Yep, true. I remember owning this as well. This is the version my aunt had. That's not exactly what I'd call a pet puzzle. More like a farm puzzle. And I think Light's camera interaction may be a brand of Melissa and Doug's, but I am unsure. Yes, as a matter of fact, it still sits in his room right now, despite him being in LA at this point. This I do remember having. This my younger brother had, and this one of my neighbors had when they had a baby. Alright. Now, I think I remember seeing this at a friend's house. It may have been a different Diego set, though. I am unsure at this point, so do not worry about it. I remember seeing the orange version at my cousin's house and at my special ed teacher's room in elementary school. This is the version my cousins had, yes. My neighbors had this, and my special ed teacher had this. Alright, I do remember now that the version I had at my this version that the version I saw at a friend's house was a different version. This is the version that my cousins had. So I'm sorry about that. If that inconveniences you in any way. I saw this at Shopco. Remember when that was a thing? There were two locations of this near me. Um, Obviously they both closed. I saw this in a catalog along with the Rex flashlight and an evil Dr. Porkchop flashlight. Yes, my neighbors did used to have this, and the lonely goat herd is from The Sound of Music, if you know what I'm talking about. This I remember seeing at my cousin's house, and I also used to have it once. So there. I remember owning a set of these. Yeah, and I saw a couple of these at Goodwill as well. Hmm, not a whole lot I can say here. I remember seeing something similar like that at my cousin's house. I just don't know which one. My younger brother had this as a baby. Where have I seen that before? I do not know. I think one of my cousins had it. I don't know for sure if that's the case. Oh, I do know my younger brother got this for his birthday once. I do not know what happened to it. I think we probably sold it because we didn't really use it that much. Hang on, did I miss a few things? I need to know. I need to know for sure. Nope. I don't think so. Okay, sorry about that. I just thought I missed something. Yeah, I think we'll find this at a different thing later. My special ed teacher had this. Funny thing about it, if you there was some sort of vibration setting. If you put it on a solid surface, it vibrated, which ironically made the base turn, making it look like it was in fact rotating. You can also find this in stores like the outlet in the Dells, the Wisconsin Dells. I already told you about that. All right, all right. Hmm. 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 This my younger sister got for her first birthday. Not really a whole lot else I can say. Ooh. All right. Let's see. Yes. Well, I don't actually know if these are the exact ornaments. I think I have one of them. I do not know if it's exact or not. As a matter of fact, most ornaments don't even say what they're. In fact, a lot of the ornaments I have don't are so old they don't even have the tags on them anymore. So that's yeah. I remember having something like this. Hmm. Not a whole lot else I can say. Yes, I do remember seeing a photo of this at my grandparents' place. A photo of my grandparents' place, and this was one of the toys they had. My paternal grandparents. Sorry, I almost forgot about that. Hmm. I think I had something similar to that, except I think it was a different version. Maybe it was Fisher Price. This I had at preschool, or my preschool had. Sorry. Yes, surprisingly enough, my cousin did have this. It was part of a race car bed that he got for Christmas, and I did have the yellow version of this growing up as well. The yellow version has different shapes, but still a good toy regardless. One of my friends had this. It was a fun time playing with it. And he had a whole bunch of other Geotrax sets as well. Hmm. I do remember having a Slinky, at least one or two Slinkies throughout the course of my life. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot else I can say. I think I may have seen that one somewhere. I just don't know where. Sorry if this is inconveniencing you in any way. Hmm. I do remember my neighbors having something like this. This is the carousel that you can find. This one does not have the railing and ticket booth, but that is okay. It just it just needs the exact animals: tiger, lion, zebra, the two sleighs, and yeah, everything in between. Here's another version with just four horses and riders. Hmm. We're gonna move on now. Hmm. This I remember having, and so did my special ed teacher. All right, we're coming down to the end of it, so yeah, I can't find anything else, so I guess that's the end of the video. Bye.